Imagine this. You're standing in the middle of nowhere. No phone, no GPS, no Google Maps telling you to make a U-turn. No road signs, no maps, not even a compass. Just dirt and sky. And today, we panic when our GPS loses signal for a few minutes. Ancient humans crossed entire oceans without any of it. And they didn't just survive. They showed up exactly where they meant to go. So how? How did they do it? Well, some of them followed birds, some of them read the waves with their bare hands, and some of them licked the ocean floor. Let's start from there. One of the oldest navigation tools ever invented was the lead line, a heavy weight on a rope. You drop it over the side. When it hits the bottom, you measure how deep the water is. Simple enough. But here's where it gets weird. They pack the bottom of the weight with animal fat, tallow, sticky grease. So when it hit the seafloor, bits of mud, sand, shells, and rocks would stick to it. They'd haul it back up and inspect it. Savor the punchline ending. Different ocean floors meant different locations. Sandy bottom with red shells? You're off Portland. White chalk? That's near the Isle of Wight. Good navigators knew their local waters by the taste, the smell, and the texture of what the lead brought up. Imagine your entire GPS being a lump of fat on a rope. The Greek historian Herodotus wrote about this around 440 BCE. He recorded that when approaching Egypt from the sea, if your lead line hit mud at 11 fathoms deep, you were exactly 1 day sailing from Alexandria. That's a 2,400-year-old Google ETA. But the ocean floor only works near the coast. What about the open sea, where the water is so deep no rope can reach the bottom? That's where the sky came in. Ancient sailors realized that certain stars never moved. Polaris, the North Star, always sat in the same spot in the sky. If you kept it over your left shoulder, you were heading west. Over to your right, east. Dead ahead, north. Your entire direction written in the sky. The Phoenicians, legendary Mediterranean traders around 1500 BCE, were among the first to use stars for open water navigation. They sailed thousands of miles, using nothing but the night sky and zero fear. There was just one tiny problem: clouds. Daytime, fog. The stars are now useless. You can't see them. And that's where the Vikings did something absolutely unhinged. The Vikings sailed from Scandinavia to Iceland, Greenland, and even North America. In seas where fog and cloud could last for days. No stars visible, no sun. So how did they know where they were going? For centuries, historians thought this was a myth. It wasn't. A sunstone is a piece of Iceland spar, a calcite crystal. When light passes through it, it splits into two beams. You rotate the crystal until both beams are equally bright, and that tells you exactly where the sun is, even behind thick clouds, even after sunset, even in fog. In 2011, researchers at the University of Rennes in France tested this. They found that a Viking sunstone could pinpoint the sun's position to within 1 degree of accuracy on a cloudy day. A crystal from 1,000 years ago. More accurate than some modern compasses near a ship's cannon. And in 2013, a calcite crystal was actually found in the wreck of the Alderney, a ship that sank in 1592, sitting right next to the ship's navigation tools. Not a myth, not a legend. A real crystal, used for real navigation, for real centuries. But of everything ancient humans ever did with navigation, nothing, I mean nothing, comes close to the Polynesians. The Polynesian Triangle covers an area of the Pacific Ocean larger than all the continents combined. Over 1,000 islands, scattered across millions of square miles of open water. And the Polynesians found them, all of them, in wooden canoes, with no instruments. Their navigators would crouch in the bow of the canoe and feel the waves, through the hull, through their entire body. They built something called stick charts, curved coconut palm sticks tied together with fiber, shells for islands. The sticks showed how ocean swells bend and bounce around land masses. It's a wave map, a map made of sticks and shells. But here's the part that blows your mind. They never carried the charts on board. They memorized them, every curve, every pattern, every island. They also watched birds. Certain seabirds fly toward land at dusk and out to sea at dawn. The direction a bird flies at sunset points directly at the nearest island. No compass needed, just patience and a bird. In 1976, the Polynesian Voyaging Society built a traditional canoe called the Hokulea and sailed it 2,500 miles from Hawaii to Tahiti, using only traditional wayfinding. No maps, no compass, no GPS. They arrived exactly where they intended, just like their ancestors did 1,000 years before. But navigation wasn't just about the sea. On land, Aboriginal Australians developed something even harder to believe. They turned songs into GPS. Warm yellow map of Australia with glowing lines crisscrossing the continent. Label songlines/dreaming tracks. Lines connect waterholes, mountains, and sacred sites. They're called songlines, or dreaming tracks, paths across the land that were encoded into songs. By singing a specific song in the right sequence, a traveler could navigate hundreds of miles across featureless desert. The lyrics described landmarks, waterholes, rock formations, everything you needed to know to not die. And here's the thing that will genuinely rearrange your brain. Many modern Australian highways, paved, GPS-mapped, and satellite-designed roads follow the exact same routes as these ancient songlines. Routes that were first walked and sung into existence possibly 50,000 years ago. We didn't improve on their directions. We literally paved over them. Stars, waves, mud, crystals, birds, songs. No batteries, no satellites, no subscription fees. And they worked. We built satellites that orbit the planet at 20,000 kilometers per hour to tell us where the nearest coffee shop is. They looked up and just knew. Different era, same destination. They just trusted the planet more than we do. And you're lying in bed at 2 a.m., pre-planning a route to a party you haven't been invited to yet. They cross the Pacific by feeling waves, and we can't find our car in a parking lot. If this video made you feel something, or taught you something, or made you question your own sense, hit subscribe. More stories like this are coming. Think deep. Draw simply.